I really want to congratulate the SADC Private Sector Forum on this huge milestone. As Tanya's outlined just now, it seems a long journey, doesn't it, from that conversation in 2014, from the plans and the genesis of an idea of a compendium of SADC labour laws through to the digital tool we've got before us now. But I have to say, it's a journey that my colleagues in the Employers Bureau of the ILO have been happy to support and to be part of. Colleagues before me have already gone over the very difficult context in which we are all collectively living and working through, and I'm not going to repeat it here. But I think one thing that I'd like to bring to the fore, because I think it's very much an example of the work that we're doing together, is that the strength of employers and business representative organisations lies in their independence, their established standing, their respected and representative voice, and the capacity of that collective voice to be stronger and more effective than their members are just operating individually in isolation. Again, I think these qualities will put organisations such as SADC Employers Forum and its individual members in a position to meet the challenges of serving their members, the business community, in the 21st century. In the Bureau, as you know, our number one task is to work with our employer constituents, employer organisations, on their institutional capacity, so that they can effectively represent the interests of their members, either by engaging in policy development and reforms, and the provision of relevant services to their members. And this engagement isn't only just with governments, but also with other stakeholders and all in society, to ensure a conducive business environment for sustainable enterprises. And I think this tool is an excellent sign of SPSF showing that it's ready to constantly change and innovate in order to remain relevant in the evolving policy environment. I think now, even more than ever, the organisations that we work with, and a number of you in on this call represent, are going to be judged not only on what they delivered today or yesterday, but the confidence you instill in your members and those you seek to influence about how you can define and reflect tomorrow on how you influence policy. New challenges are going to call for new orientations, different ways of working, and no organisation ever has an automatic right to or guarantee to exist. And so we're therefore going to be working in an environment that was already there, but is even going to be more difficult going forward, on how we together constantly strive to give better value to our enterprise members, which is why I think SPF is great, taking an enormous step forward with the initiative it's taken. I was fascinated to see, because I've only seen it in prototype, the dynamic nature of the guide and the transition that you've made, colleagues, by taking it into a COVID-19 dashboard. And a number of you have already said about how that really does bring together a really relevant guide that will be of help in the reality we're living through now. The proof of the pudding is in the eating, as they say where I'm from in Yorkshire in the UK. And I think we will need to keep a close eye on how this tool is measured and used by you and others, so that we can ensure that it's constantly updated to make sure that it is a relevant tool going forward. I think one of the things that's been incredibly useful about the tool is that it's utilising our position as a global platform and sharing best practices. We've looked in the Bureau above and beyond this particular tool to see how we can put at the disposal of our employer and business membership organisations a range of tools that they can use with their enterprise members in our COVID-19 related context, that range from handling COVID-19 in the workplace, occupational health and safety, a business continuity tool, and an enterprise survey tool. And I think that going forward, there's going to be an even bigger challenge that we need to recognise that our employer and business membership organisations worldwide are facing uncertain times. Membership is a non-essential cost for businesses, especially those who are struggling to survive. Leaders of business organisations globally are telling us that they're very worried and concerned about their own membership retention levels in the short, medium and long term. And I feel that there's an enormous paradox that at the moment when a strong and unified advocacy for the private sector is now needed more than ever, we will have a challenge in terms of just the operational sustainability of many of our organisations moving forward. And I think that initiatives such as this one show that the business community, despite those very real challenges, is able to step up to the plate and show real leadership. So thank you once again to you, the constituents, to all of those who are in on this call and perhaps are not, in terms of how they've brought together the work on this initiative can be delivered. It's a sign that sometimes we take 3 steps forward and 2 back, but with perseverance, leadership and innovation, we get there in the end. I'm also unaware that it's not happened by chance. There's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes. Colleagues have mentioned, ILO colleagues, Joni Musabayana, my colleagues Mariana Macan Ellis and Gary Reinhardt in the Pretoria office, Roseanne Ang, who was a former colleague of mine, but also Tanya Cohen. Thank you very much, and so very nice to see you across the Zoom today, Tanya. And all of those that gave the team effort and the pro bono effort that they gave. The efforts are bearing fruit, and I think it's an exciting moment for all of us collectively, as well as the SADC Business Forum. So thank you very much. I'm glad the launch has been so successful, and we look forward to taking this work together for you.